So is your brain dying? And if it is, this fuel might be the only thing left to save your brain. So we've been trying to fight Alzheimer's with drugs, supplements, and memory games. But what if the real solution isn't on the shelf? What if it's actually in your mitochondria? Because Alzheimer's isn't just a disease of memory, it's a disease of fuel failure. And there's one fuel source, one backup generator that may be the one thing left to save your brain. And those are ketones. So welcome everyone. This is episode 90 of the Obesity Project. This fuel might be the only thing left to save your brain. I'm Dr. Mark Schenkman, and I'm an oral and maxillofacial surgeon that believes in not only just saving your mouth, but saving your whole body. And to prove that, I just got accepted to a master's program in nutrition and functional medicine. I'm super excited about that. We're going to add that to the mix. We're going to add that to my knowledge, and we're going to share the information here on social media. So let's dive right into this. So the first thing you need to realize is that the brain's fuel crisis in Alzheimer's, it's a fuel crisis. It's not really a true disease process. Long before the first symptom, your brain starts losing the ability to use glucose. Glucose is what most people feel is the primary energy source for the brain, but I'm here to tell you that ketones might actually be an advantage and maybe the preferred energy system, but we'll get into all of that. So let's start off with a little bit of research. In Neurobiology of Aging in 2021, PET scans showed that glucose metabolism drops in the Alzheimer's brain years, not just months, not just days, but years before diagnosis, especially in the memory regions like the hippocampus. So this isn't random, it's insulin resistance of the brain. And that's why some scientists now call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. So as an analogy, this is like trying to drive with a full tank of gas, but the fuel lines, they're actually blocked and the gas can't get to the engine. So your brain doesn't need more gas. It needs a new line. It needs a new fuel. So here's what ketones can do that glucose can't. So now we're going to talk about what ketones can do that glucose simply can't. So ketones bypass insulin. Now, insulin is necessary for glucose to enter cells, but ketones don't require insulin to do this. Not only do they not need insulin, they don't need transporters, and they feed neurons directly. So this creates more ATP or more energy, less inflammation of the brain and the neurons of the brain, creates mitochondrial repair and improved signaling and cognition. All things very valuable and necessary if you're trying to treat Alzheimer's. So let's talk about some of the science. The Journal of Alzheimer's Disease in 2019 showed that ketogenic diets improved memory and cognitive function in early stage patients. There was another study in Frontiers in Neuroscience in 2020 that demonstrated that ketone supplementation, so exogenous ketone that you're taking in by mouth, led to better executive function, processing speed, and verbal memory in older adults. And then finally, another one in Metabolism in 2016, the brain still uses ketones effectively and efficiently, even in advanced forms of Alzheimer's. So now let's talk about why this is so disruptive. So no drug has ever reversed Alzheimer's. There are no drugs that will reverse it. But we've known for years that the brain loses access to glucose, loses the ability to take the glucose in and use it as a form of energy. So insulin signaling begins to break down, and the mitochondria begin to degrade, and ketones, well, they bypass this entire system, this entire process. So imagine you're stranded with a dead car battery, and no matter how much you step on the gas, It simply won't start. Now, someone actually hands you a fully charged backup pack, and your engine now roars to life. And that's what ketones can do. And that's what ketones can be for the Alzheimer's brain. So here are some of the other things that the research shows. First, let's talk about memory. Patients show measurable improvement in recall, attention, and processing speed on ketogenic diets. And on brain imaging, functional MRIs show improved and increased blood flow and metabolic activity with ketone use. When it comes to behavior, family members report improved mood, communication, and daily functioning, even in only mild cognitive impairment. So to summarize, here are my final, my final thoughts. This has been episode 90 of the Obesity Project. This fuel might be the only thing left to save your brain. Now, we don't need another failed Alzheimer's drug. What we do need is to fuel the brain that's still alive. And ketones are anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, mitochondrial friendly, and still usable when insulin resistance and glucose as a fuel source fail. So if your brain is starving, don't wait for a miracle drug. You may already have the answer, and it's here on your plate. So don't forget, here on the Obesity Project, we're cutting through the myths and getting to the root. Now, make sure to stay tuned for episode 91, Why Dementia Might Start in the Kitchen. We'll actually expose how ultra-processed carbs, insulin spikes, and blood sugar crashes may be fueling the cognitive epidemic and how to protect your brain now. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you wanting to educate yourself. As I mentioned, I'm getting involved in a master's program and getting even more information than what I have right now. So keep learning, keep watching, keep sharing, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.